And we're recording. Yeah. And let's hit a motherfucking clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Fuck! You know what?
We can roll with it.
We can roll with it. We'll have a click at the end. We'll have a click. We'll have a clap at the end too.
Yeah, we have our new system. We'll be fine, man.
Yeah. And what's up? What is up?
Whoa!
You guys are probably like, holy shit.
What's happening?
What's happening, bro?
We're in a different set. What's going on?
But what's up, guys? We're freaking back. This is Too High for TV, where you already know two guys get too high and talk about a little bit too much TV.
It's your boys.
I am one of your co-hosts. Hopefully you know by now. My name is Ryan Madrano, and to my right, your left on the video.
Hey, everybody. I'm your other co-host. You know me as well. Daniel Valdez at your service, and we're here to bring you another fine episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you prefer Valdez or Valdez?
What I actually prefer is I usually go with Daniel Valdez.
Daniel Valdez.
Daniel Valdez.
Cool.
But for the purposes of easy pronunciation, Daniel Valdez.
Valdez. All right, cool. But hell yeah, what's up, everybody? Yeah, we're back. If you notice in the video, we're kind of sitting different. I like this little bar seating area. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
work with that.
We got a little set change for this episode. Got some inspections going on at the place we normally shoot at. So
the production set is under reconstruction at the moment.
Yeah, guys are gonna see a crazy set. We got an aquarium going in the back.
It's pretty cool.
We're getting some moon rock straight from the moon of Jupiter, not our moon, but a moon of Jupiter.
We've cut a lot of deals, guys. You're going to see production value go through the roof on this show.
We're 7 episodes in, and guys, we're getting moon rocks already.
Come on, dude.
Right here. But yeah, guys, we're back. Like we said last week, if you guys tuned into that episode, hopefully you did. And if you did, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. Always appreciate the love. Mm-hmm. I'm digging, being at work and people, coming in and be like, hey, I listen to the podcast. It's pretty cool. And I was like, oh, man.
I was walking out for like a break the other day, and I got stopped really quick by a homie named Elias. Shout out to you. Yeah, he's like, hey, you make that podcast with Ryan, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I really like you guys, man. You guys are good. And I was like, I really like you, man.
I was like, hey, Elias, I love you, man.
Dude, it's awesome. It feels real good. Thank you for the support. For real, 110%.
Hell yeah, and we're back. And what we got going on today? We just got a recap episode going on today. We're going to be talking about Jeen-Yuhs, because the third and final part came out, I believe, like a couple weeks ago now. Yeah. And then we're going to talk about the rest of Pam and Tommy. We'll get a little bit of flashback to episode 2? Yeah. Episode 2, where we talked about Pam and Tommy. Now we're going to finish it I believe when we first recorded, there was 5 episodes out.
I think 5, yeah. And now we're at full 8, right?
Yep, full 8.
Good show. Real good show. We'll get into it. I liked it a lot. I was happier, right off the top, really quickly, I was happier with the ending of Pam and Tommy than I was for Jeen-Yuhs.
Yes.
I'll say that now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta get this lit. But yeah, guys, I got a big freaking doinky getting lit up right here.
This is a little different than our usual routine, because we've both got something to do this Saturday. We'll be doing...
No, now they know it's not Saturday.
It's okay. We're going to let them into the process. Okay, guys? We trust you. You know you won't tell anybody. It's all good.
Yeah. Don't tell your mom that we didn't record on Saturday.
Okay, guys.
Don't tell your parents we didn't record on Saturday.
But it's weird, though, because usually we have like a week of stuff to catch up on that, we haven't seen each other. But it's like it's only been a couple of days.
Yeah. It's like, what did we talk about?
Yeah, what did you do yesterday?
Yesterday, dude, I did a whole bunch of freaking... what was I doing yesterday? Honestly, I don't really remember. I smoked too much weed during my fucking days off to work. But I know I took some naps yesterday.
Very nice.
I went out to the bar with a couple of my friends just to hang out, get some socialization out there, play some pool, drink some brewskis.
Some brewskis and pool?
Yeah, some brewskis and pool. We like to do that, at least like once a week. Or, we try to just because, we're all busy. Yeah. You know how it is. We're adulting out here. We got things to do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you don't always get the time to hang out with your friends like you did when you're in high school and stuff like that, or like straight out of high school. So, we try to make some time to hang out with each other. Cause,
I like that, man. That's real sweet.
It's important. It's important to socialize out there. Stay in touch with your friends, check up on them, tell them you love them here and there. Actually, tell them you love them every freaking day. If you haven't told your friends you love them, stop this podcast right now.
Right now.
Delete Spotify from your phone. Go into your messages, group all your friends together in a text and tell them you fucking love them, and then you can keep on listening.
And
to
you
this
know what?
podcast.
While you're at it, you might as well go. Tell your mom too.
Yeah, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother,
you got any
tell your
siblings?
sister,
Go tell them.
tell your dog.
Just tell the world you love them.
Yeah,
you know, we could use a little more love.
Exactly. But yeah, I did. I took a couple naps yesterday too. Freaking straight up high guy moment yesterday. So I did go into town to freaking. I think just deposit some cash I had left over from like my paycheck or whatever, and then I had a bunch of change because I have this little vase thing I made in ceramics in high school, and I just use that as like a change collector.
Fund? Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So once it fills up, it's like I don't know. I think I can get close to like $30 to $40 in there. So I was like, all right, it's full. Time to go. Time to go take it to the little Coinstar and freaking get some cash after that. But so I'm going down to where my car is parked, and where my car is parked is where my plants are at. So I was checking on my plants. Okay. I was like, damn, they look fucking beautiful. So I put my bag of change down. Mm-hmm. I opened up my tent, and I started recording it, and I was like, damn, these shits is cool. Took a couple pictures, and I was like, all right, let's fucking go. And I zipped up my tent, and I drive to Hollister. Mm-hmm. Do all my things I need to do. I'm pretty sure I go to work. I pick up some things, pick up this thing I'm freaking trying to smoke right now. I actually haven't even taken a hit. Let me do that real quick.
On that. I think I know what's coming here.
But yeah, I picked up some stuff, and then I'm like, all right, cool, time to go and exchange these coins because they're just sitting here in my car. Let's go exchange them. So I pull up to a store where there is a Coinstar. I park my car, and I'm like looking around for the fucking change. I'm like, where is this shit? I know I put this shit in here. I know I walked in and just threw it in my car and then freaking took off. Couldn't fucking find it. So I'm like, damn. Did I leave my car unlocked and someone just like came up on like $40 worth of change? I was like, nah, my car was locked. That doesn't even make sense. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. I'll find the change. Go home, go to sleep. Wake up this morning. I'm like, all right, let me go freaking check on my plants again because they were looking beautiful yesterday. Let's look at some more beautiful plants today. Mm-hmm. And I go down, and what's sitting right in front of the tent but the fucking change that I had put down the day before to take fucking pictures of my plants.
My money.
Straight up high guy moment.
My money.
Yeah. But hey, it was there. It was still chilling in the bag. No one came onto my property and took it.
You still got $40 or so in coins,
up,
you know?
What's up? But yeah, that was my day yesterday. After that, I came home, took a couple naps, and then freaking went to the bar, and then came back home.
Very nice.
And yeah, it was a good day, bro. It was a nice productive day off. Not gonna lie.
Very nice, very nice.
What about you, my friend? What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday was a pretty good day overall. I started off with a little bit of an early morning. I got up early and I played some games for a little while, and then as soon as it was up and time to go, me and my lovely girl, who is making a special off-camera appearance again on set here.
More brownie points.
We went to go grab some breakfast at Flapjacks, which you still haven't been to, huh?
No, actually, I think I've been to Flapjacks like once.
Okay. Well, we need to hit up some Flapjacks for sure because food's bomb there. They got really good mimosas as well. So that's how we started our day.
Dude, you had me at Bon Food, but
mimosas as well.
Once you said mimosa, it like took it over the top. Now I'm ready.
So that place is hella good. We usually start our Mondays there, at least 2 of them out of the month, because every other Monday, unfortunately, my job is to stay overnight at the shop that I work out and count each and every individual product that we have. Woohoo! Which is quite a few things. It takes a minute. Yeah. It's a good long shift there. But it wasn't bad last night. We got through it pretty quick. We made some really good lunch for ourselves early in the day. We did some little grilled cheese and ham sandwiches. Ooh. And then we made ourselves some tomato soup to take with us. Have a little classic soup and sandwich combo, you know?
Hey, you want some soup or you want a sandwich or you want them both?
Sometimes you just got to get them both. It's a good combo, you know?
¿Por qué no los dos? Hey,
¿por qué no los dos? Eh? Hey, I like it. Spanish mobsters. But yeah, it was a pretty good day overall. Definitely not my favorite day of the week or of the month, I should say. But,
Mondays, man.
But it worked, man. We got through it and we're good. We're chilling. We're here.
That's even worse that they scheduled that on a Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, Monday's just a bad day in general. Just, kicking off, everyone's just irritated. Yeah. Work week again, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, no, Mondays, you're going to count every single thing in the store. And you're just like,
and on top of that, as I'm sure you know, my boy, fucking Sundays are the busiest day for us. So we finish off a Sunday, sleep in, and take care of ourselves as much as we can on a Monday morning, and then we get started for the night, man.
Yeah.
Got to keep on keeping on.
And I can imagine the shelves were probably pretty bare that Monday when you guys came in, huh? Because I did work that Sunday night, and it was like we did not have time to stock up.
Yeah, actually, on the floor for surezies, yeah. There was lots of stocking that needed to happen. I think he needs to pee. We're referring to my dog here. Yeah. Or not my dog, but my little sister's dog. Shout out to both Meaty and Mac over here.
Yeah, we had my dog who peed on the last podcast, and now we have Mac who is being a good boy and is like, hey, I need to go outside and pee.
Hey, man, maybe we can just start having little pup appearances every once in a while.
That's true. Yeah.
Puppy episode. I'm rolling up some garlic cocktail over here.
Ooh, but, hey, I smoked that yesterday. I smoked it all yesterday. That was really good.
I was, right? I bought another eighth of it, bro. I really liked it.
Oh, wow. Another eighth. I might go do that today.
I grabbed another one. I liked it.
I shouldn't go do that today. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that today.
I'm not going to go to the shop 2 days in a row.
I'm not, dude. I'm really not.
2 off days in a row.
I'm not, dude. Because I did buy a quarter yesterday. Was it my favorite quarter? Which
one did you get?
I got the cereal milk from Florical.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of nice. It's just kind of dry. Yeah, I don't like the dry buds, man. Florical, I love you. If you're listening to this, I fucking love you. Send me some bud. Your flour's
good. Fuck
but sometimes that shit's kind of dry. And what I notice is the cultivation date and the package date are like 6 days apart, my guy.
What's going on there?
You trying to speed dry your stuff? You can't speed dry your stuff.
Listen to my boy over here. He knows what he's talking about.
Can't speed dry your stuff.
All right.
A nice 10 to 16 days. That's a good dry.
I like that.
10 to 16 days.
But a little over a fortnight,
I understand it from like the business standpoint. You got to get your product.
Push weed out, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
but
push good bud out. He just had to pee.
Good weed out there, man.
Push the good weed out.
Trust me, guys. Take an extra few days to dry your stuff slowly. And it's going to be nice because you're not going to, when you're drying it in a room that probably doesn't have the right temperature or the right humidity, like that shit's just going to be dry or it's just going to be tasteless and not with that.
Tasteless is another thing I've noticed too every once in a while, from Florical. Again, I love your flour, stony as fuck. But every once in a while, last few batches, kind of been the same to me.
I can't have freaking juicy fruit weed.
No juicy fruit for you? No super uber flavored stuff?
No. Give me the super uber flavored stuff. But you know how juicy fruit gum runs out of flavor in like 2 seconds?
Oh yeah, totally. I
can't have that.
That was a good one.
I need a smooth smoke and good flavor all the way freaking through.
Okay. Yeah,
and trust me, smoke for flavor, guys.
Yeah.
Don't smoke for freaking. You know what irks me, you motherfuckers that come. I'm sorry, but
we're doing a little.
What irks me a little bit is sometimes you guys come in, you're like, give me what's fucking 37% THC, and I'm like, hey yo, bro, kick back. I'm like, yeah, that stuff's nice on paper. It looks freaking great.
People always come in. Hey, y'all got 30% for $30? It's like,
I'm like, no,
whoa, buddy,
no, I don't, buddy. But buddy, trust me, I'll get you this 26% that tastes really good, and just because it's not 35%.
It don't matter.
It don't matter, dog.
It's still gonna be
a good smoke.
It don't matter, dog.
But yeah, smoke for flavor, and trust me, your guys' life will get better. You're not gonna wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
You'll be satisfied with every smoke.
Exactly.
Satisfied with every hit. Smoke for flavor. Madrano Farms.
That would be great. Hey, this doesn't taste too bad.
How is he? That's the sugar daddy, not the sugar mama.
But it's not too bad. I wish I knew the straight it was, but
yeah, I think they're just mixers now. They just say indica hybrid sativa on there or something.
Well, it says premium indoor flower, key fly resin, diamonds.
Goddamn. Yeah. That one's catching ya.
It is. But I'm also just a cougher. I've noticed that. Like, I'll just smoke, and then I'll just cough. And people are like, yo, you good? And I'm like, this is just how I am.
Yeah, you're just getting more high.
I've smoked a long time, and my coughing has not really gone... I mean, it's gone down, but...
I don't think it's supposed to. Your combustion happening.
That's true.
You're going to cough.
I would just like to not cough.
I'd like to not cough from time to time. Might be nice to smoke a joint when I feel too rough on the throat. Yeah. All right. So
let's get into our recap, man. What are we doing first? Hey, buddy, do you want to hit this?
Yeah, you want some weed?
If you go over to that corner, like, you won't... Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah.
No camera appearances, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, what do you want to talk about first? We got Jeen-Yuhs. Should we get the... Should we do good news first, bad news first?
Wow, it's making me cough, too. I would say... Yeah, let's get Jeen-Yuhs out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like we'll want to gush more about Pam and Tommy.
Exactly. So we had Jeen-Yuhs Part 3 of the Kanye West documentary come out on Netflix. And man, I was really anticipating this episode because those first 2 parts of the documentary were freaking great. They were some of the best, like,
really good.
It's like one of the best, couple parts of a documentary that I've seen.
Yeah, I would say probably one of my favorite like music documentaries for sure. Like,
and I might be a little biased because I'm a huge Kanye West fan, but I was listening to another podcast, right? And this guy, it was the Need to Know podcast. Shout out to the Need to Know podcast. You guys should definitely check them out. But one of the co-hosts, Devon Terrell, was talking about the documentary, right? And he summed it up perfectly. He said those first 2 episodes felt like I was watching something I shouldn't be watching.
Oh, most definitely. That is really good.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, I just felt like
Cootie got like such a personal, like intimate glimpse into his life that for sure, that's the perfect description for it. Absolutely.
And yeah, those first 2 episodes were amazing. Seeing, the rise of Kanye West and seeing the trials and tribulations and how hard it was, to
for him to get where he needed to be. That's crazy.
Go from producer to rapper, because especially at that point, once you're really great at one thing, right? They'll tend to box you in and be like, okay, you're a really great producer, just stick to producing and blah, blah, which is what they were trying to do. But Kanye, being who Kanye is, he was like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna also be a rapper. I'm just making these beats so I can make beats for myself so I can rap on these motherfucking beats. And that's what was so great about those first 2 episodes was you saw that just, that climb to greatness. You saw what it took and how much he was willing to just go for it and didn't give a shit about what people were saying. Yeah, he had times and moments where he was sad and kind of feeling down on himself. But then those were some moments where his mom picked him up.
God, such uplifting moments.
Donda West was so great, bro.
Stuff. Yeah, I know. I loved seeing her and how much of a presence she had, not only in the documentary, but just like in his life in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my goodness gracious. I think those are probably some of my favorite moments in the whole documentary is like, especially in that first episode when they first go to her house and like Cootie and the rest of the crew they're with meet her for the first time, dude. That shit is so fucking heartwarming. Like,
yeah.
Like I think the first time I watched it, it made me tear up a little bit, man. That shit was fucking tear-worthy.
I straight up cried when I was watching this. Like, it was like, like the moments with his mom were great when she was rapping that verse that he wrote like when he was like in high school or something like that. And, it didn't even look like he really remembered it too much, but she knew it word for word. Like, that part made me tear up and made me cry.
Oh God.
Because it's a touching moment. Like, it's moments like that you don't get to see really ever in a famous person's life. And
definitely not.
Those are moments that we're not privy to, and the fact that we got to see that was like, oh my gosh, like Kanye, it humanized him so much because you're like, oh my God, Kanye West is just a human being, and he went through probably a lot of the same things like a lot of us creatives or people that are trying to do unorthodox things with our life.
Absolutely. It takes a toll, if like I'm sure, especially if that's all you do 100% of the time, like it's different if you've got like a day job to support you as well, but for somebody who's just living off the music, man, that's all you got,
especially back then when there's really no internet.
Nope.
Now it's
very primitive internet, compared to now.
Now it's a lot easier, right? If I'm a producer, I can make 10 beats in a day because I can open up Logic, I can open up FL Studios, I can drop in loops from other producers, and I can bang out 10 beats in a day. I can post those on YouTube, or I can put them on my own page.
Within a week you can have somebody collaborating with you if you really want to. You can have a whole ass song with 2 other artists. Like, it's that fast now. It's crazy.
And there's people that literally make a living off that shit now, that are literally just like, I'm just an internet producer, I just sell beats, and I just do all this shit. And for him, like I said, there what also was amazing to me in those first couple episodes, where I don't know if I said it on the
old episode,
the old episode, but when he's sitting there and talking about, he's like, dog, like, I got my own guitarist now, I got my own vocalist, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna just be in there like just making stuff with them and making it sound like it's a sample. When people hear me like, damn, what sample is this? And it's like, nah, like I made that. And that's crazy because that's such an early, like, doing stuff like that in that sense of like, okay, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make these people play, and then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna resample it. Like, that's not something that a lot of people were doing. Obviously, like, you're going in there and people are playing a piano for the specific song, but people aren't making compositions and then coming back and resampling them and chopping them up as if you went through and you found a freaking CD or a freaking, not a CD, a freaking a vinyl from the 70s, right? And then freaking, so that was like,
that's
just
pretty wild, man.
That's foresight, because something like that didn't even really become popular till like the earlier like 2000 like 10s, when Frank Dukes was making that really popular.
That's one of the things that's very, very eerie, I think, honestly, about like some of the things that you see in this first couple episodes is it's like you can see how far ahead this motherfucker planned his like path. You know what I mean? Like some of the references that he makes way back in the early 2000s and how they pay off right now is like freaky sometimes. It's like, damn, how long have you been fucking thinking about this shit? You know what I mean, dude? Like,
exactly.
it's pretty wild.
Yeah, like when they're at that conference and he was mad that they just put Kanye. And he's like, no, it's Kanye West. Like, what? Now I'm gonna just drop the blah blah blah, and I'm gonna just be Ye.
Yeah.
He probably like was joking about that in that moment, but then probably also like mentally took a note and was like, I could do that. I could use this.
Yeah,
you know, and just sat on it for like a long time. But
and then now he's got it.
Yeah, those first 2 episodes were great, and man, that third episode just didn't do it for me. If I'm gonna be quite honest, I don't know if it was actually the content that was put on the third episode or my expectations that I put on for the third episode.
Maybe.
But after seeing those first 2 and how like, you know, we got, you know, before College Dropout, and then we got College Dropout, and then we're getting into a little bit of Late Registration. I thought we were gonna get a little bit of like Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, blah blah blah.
They
blah,
really
stuff
skip
like
over
that.
all that though.
But
it was a pretty heavy fast forward.
I don't know if I can blame it on that or just the fact that a big part of like that third episode was Cootie basically being like, yeah, at a certain point, like Kanye just didn't have me going along with, you know, his, you know, going on his tours and doing this and doing that. Like we normally, like things were normally happening, you know?
It was sad.
So
no, I was there for episode 3 until around the ending for me personally, because like I was also tripped out about like the switch up when it came to the Cootie stuff, because like all of a sudden, I mean, it was nice, you know, because like I do want to know more about him as well, but it was like a weird switch up when all of a sudden you go in and you're like doing the whole behind the scenes with Cootie's family and stuff like that. But it also is really sweet to find out more about him and to know that like his dad is basically the one who like raised him, making videos and like how to capture moments and stuff like that. But the big thing that I don't want to say enjoying, but just like was definitely like consuming as content and like was like, you know, down with it, was that like I appreciated that he tries to put more of a lens on like the mental illness aspect. I was just hoping for, with such an uplifting start to the show, I was hoping for a more uplifting ending as well, and I feel like it was a little bit more of like a somber, serious note at the end, you know?
Yeah, it was one of those endings where it was kind of like, you know, he basically almost said like you can kind of leave it up to almost interpretation, like, you know, is it the, you know, obviously there is some things going on with him losing his mom, and that can have a toll on someone, especially with the impact that she had on his life. But then it's like, is it also just these, you know, characteristics that he had already in himself that were just brought out more because he was famous and blah, 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 and all these things, which, I mean, you can make an argument for both. You can, because there are moments in those first 2 episodes where you're like, wow, the Kanye that's talking here in the late 90s, early 2000s
doesn't sound anything like him.
No, but it's like pretty similar to what the stuff he's saying is now. Like he had similar ideas on certain things with, you know, how he should be presenting himself. Like, no, dog, like I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be the greatest rapper. I'm going to be the greatest producer. I'm going to say blah, 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 blah. And like he does those same things now. It's on just a bigger scale, obviously, because he's kind of like, he's transcended music at this point. Like,
yeah, he's doing a lot of, he does everything now.
He's you know, doing fashion and doing all this stuff, and I feel like he's just taking that same approach that he had with the music, but with fashion. But it just sounds so weird because you're like, dude, you're already famous and you're already rich. Like, what more do you need? But it's not necessarily like he needs more. I think it's just that mentality of like,
I think that, I hear what you're saying. Or at least I think I do. It's like, I feel like that's a tough thing about like stardom and like fame and like being rich too, is it's like, of course people who are of that status will still have projects that they want to complete, you know, and like passions that they want to fulfill, but of course we're probably also going to look at that and be like, oh, it's another fucking cash grab, or like, oh, it's another fucking claim for fame or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But it's like, he just has that drive always, constantly, even when he's at the top. Like he's just trying to push forward all the time.
And I mean, it's he's at a point now where it's like you have to like just sort of separate the art from the artist at this point, you know. Because as much as I love Kanye's music and just some of the things Kanye said, it is hard to be like, oh, I love Kanye, man. Just because he does so many things where it's like, man, I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
but it's not, it's a thing. It's okay to disagree with, people and blah, 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 and things like that. But it's at a point where it's just like, you have to separate the art from the artist at this point. And I don't know. I wish just in that third episode, we would have got more of the art and what it took to create albums like Graduation, albums like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and things like that, because those are some of his greatest albums. Like, obviously My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy isn't his favorite album, just because he's also said like he doesn't like it from the aspect that he created it to be this big commercial success, instead of creating it for something that he wanted to create. He created it more commercially versus just, creating it for himself. I don't know. Like, I just wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more of like the Graduation era, because that was a big thing for him, and also a big era in hip hop where it was very much a switch up from at that time with Graduation. You also had 50 Cent dropping an album at that same time, which I fucking forget which one it was, but it was basically at this point in hip hop where you have this very gangster style music, which is what 50 Cent was doing, which was very, very popular. But then you also had this newer style of rap where it was like this backpack rap where he's not talking about, being part of this and shooting people, blah, blah, obviously being more observant and being like, yo, I've seen those things, but I grew up and, doing, talk about other things, talk about saving money, talking about doing this and doing that, right? It's so different. And Graduation was such a pivotal moment in hip hop because it went number one over 50 Cent, and that's when like the whole sort of landscape of hip hop, like the whole feel of it switched into more of like being this, Kanye being a godfather of a lot of like what's super popular now, like the Drakes, the Coles, and all these people like that. So I wanted to see more of that just from a hip hop head. I did see I think Cootie and Chike also did an interview where they said they do have like more footage of like stuff that they're probably waiting to put out. So I hope there's more, crossing my fingers, hoping that there's more of that stuff.
Well, they must have, like countless hours of stuff, man, even compared to what we've seen. But I guess it does kind of make sense that, they wouldn't have something to put together for that time, because that's not the time that he was with him, like they didn't come back together again until later. So they're just gonna be taking stock footage, which is fine. I could have done like they're good at crafting like the narrative, and taking you through everything. So they could, I'm sure they could pull it off.
Exactly. No, and then that's where I think most of my like dislike for that third episode comes from, just like the expectations I put on it.
Yeah, there's a disconnect from the first two episodes.
But I mean, there were still moments in it that were that were good. I liked the beginning, the opening, when you see him like giving that Grammy speech, when he's like, a lot of people want to know what I would have said if I didn't win. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll never know. Like, that's such an iconic moment.
Yeah,
like,
that shit was cool as fuck.
That shit was cool.
Badass.
Seeing the party where he's just literally just like fucked up and like
that part was hard to watch, bro.
Yeah.
Just because like that's he walks out afterwards and like fucking keeps fucking with Cootie. Remember, he keeps fucking calling him Chike or whatever, right? Yeah. Oh god,
yeah.
I didn't like it from dick to him, bro.
I didn't like it from that point. Like that point definitely was unsettling. Like damn, you're just fucking with your homie. Yeah, that was like that's been down for you since
fucking dude, since day one, dude.
I just like seeing those moments that we don't ever get to see,
like party Kanye,
the party shit, Kanye, the freaking just behind the scenes shit that obviously us as fans don't have to be sitting there like privy to all those moments. And I think it's just us in the internet era wanting to consume all those moments because those moments are now so accessible.
Yeah, definitely.
So we shouldn't have this like want or like need to be like, I need to see those moments, blah, blah, blah. Because now you're like sort of like super fanning at a certain point and you're just
it's just
like,
how we've been conditioned, bro.
But it's just how we've been conditioned, and me just like, I like seeing those moments. It shows just a more human side of people, right? Like we see, celebrities and artists like obviously only really held in like high standards. Now obviously with like the internet we see more like other shit shine on them. So but it's nice seeing those moments where their guards down and they're literally just like normal fucking people. Like seeing Kanye just fucked up like me, like how I probably can be sometimes. Like I'm just like, okay, cool, Kanye's just like me,
just gets lit.
Just gets fucking turned. Obviously is it good? Probably not, because he did have some moments where he was.
No, for sure. But like cool. even in the like more like I don't know, like intense sense or whatever, like just to see him struggle too, in the first episode, like how long it takes him and how much he has to like just keep picking himself up to fucking get to where he's eventually gonna be. Like that's kind of like the fun of watching it, right? Is it's like it's almost like crazy to see how far back he was at one point compared to where he is now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I know like episode 1 and 2 are ones that I'm definitely gonna go back and watch, like just a bunch. Just I don't know. They always give me goosebumps when I watch them. Episode 3, I don't know. I'll watch it here and there, but I could probably leave it out and just leave it at. Like, if we would have got those first 2, like, if it would have just been those first 2 episodes, I probably would have still been, like, happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because those are 2, like...
Solid episodes.
So solid, and they're so well crafted to where, like, those first 2 episodes are really just one... They're really, like, one whole story, almost. Like, if you take it as those 2.
Yeah.
And then this third kind of just feels, like, a little weird because there is that disconnect for a long time between Kanye and Cootie.
For sure.
But... I don't know.
So we got.
I think Jeen-Yuhs is still definitely worth the watch.
Yeah,
definitely go check it out.
Definitely, yeah, it's a good show.
If you haven't yet, I don't know what you're doing, man.
Netflix.
But yeah, next Pam and Tommy, man.
I was down with this show, dude.
Yeah,
I was big time down with this show.
Yeah, tell me what you thought about those last 3 episodes.
Yeah, so what I guess compared to where we left off when we talked about it last time, it's like there's the whole fallout, like pretty heavy fallout in terms of like the lawsuit, like Seth Rogen's character turns into a real piece of shit, like pretty hard fucking core, and I loved it. He did a great fucking job in this show.
Yeah.
And then slowly kind of starting to like, realize his wrongs and figure out what he did.
Homie's redeeming himself.
Yeah,
trying to
for sure. Yeah. But I really liked the way that they wrapped up the show. I thought it was like a lot of good moments for people to perform. I thought Lily James did super, super good in a lot of those heavier moments. Like the whole interview scene that she has with the lawyers was really, really good.
Yeah, she did great in that.
And Sebastian Stan just gets more of a chance to just be fucking crazy, dude. I love seeing him in this role. Like, we were saying a few weeks back, it's like, it's just nice to see him do something different. Of course, they love him as your standard action hero guy or whatever.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but it's good. It's fun. I heard I remember you were telling me about another movie that he's in. Fresh. Yeah, we're going to probably have to do that. I got to watch that one still.
Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit at the end, non-spoilery, but
okay. But yeah, I was hella down with the ending. I think that it was kind of sad. I didn't know that they were going to break up by the end of the show. I was like, oh fuck, wait, what? Because like I thought I saw pictures of them with like their kid together or something like that, and so
they're because they it's fresh in my mind because I just watched those last 3 episodes today. But so their relationship definitely ends, and I believe they get divorced in like 1998, and that was after like after Tommy Lee was like a piece of shit, and I'm pretty sure they fought like in their kitchen or something like that, and he like went to jail. Yeah. They divorced in 1998. Then they kind of, obviously they had a kid at that point, so they were probably co-parenting. And then in 2008, that's when they got back together. Yeah. And then that didn't last long.
Yeah, I remember they put that in like the little end credits thing up there or whatever, which was also like, that part was cool, but I kind of wish we got to see a little more of that.
Yeah. Yeah, those last 3 episodes were definitely like good. I enjoyed them for it was a good wrap up to the story. That 5th episode where it was really just centered around like Pam and kind of like the shittiness that she's, kind of been through in her life to see to where she, got to. I enjoyed that a lot. Again, I enjoy Sebastian Stan, getting to see him, flex his acting muscles and show that he's not just this person that's just on camera and is just this brooding like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
one-liner guy.
Exactly. I like seeing that. That's why later if I talk about Fresh a little bit, like, again, that's why I like it, because like you get to see him do something else and he's really freaking, like, he's really good at it. Yeah. Like to me, he's not one of those actors that's this star now because he was in Avengers and now is just getting these other movies and is not necessarily as great.
No, he's still bringing it.
Like, you can see he knows how to like get into characters really, really well. All the way down from just the way he portrays the character, and the little nuances he does, like those facial expressions, the little things the ticks, whatever he's doing with like his hands and stuff like that. Like, that is like what separates the just the average, the good actors from like the really great ones. Because you really get into it like that. Like, Sebastian Stan does, like, you know, when he's talking and he has these facial expressions, and he's like,
when
when he's walking and he's just like licking his lips, or like, you know, when Pamela Anderson, like, she's sitting there like licking her teeth, like, that's like,
when you
little things like that, it shows like, all right, you got into this character, and it makes it so believable, which is, I think, is what is really good about this fucking show.
Yeah, they're two like pretty well-known actors, and when you look at them on the screen in this show, like, you just see Pam and you just see Tommy. That's it. Like, I don't think there's any kind of like casting crossover or anything like that, you know, like you might have with, like, I don't know. I feel like the Uncharted, right? That's a tough one to pull off. I thought he did all right, but like that's gonna be an issue for Tom Holland, I feel like.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and that one, it's just. It's tough when you get casted as a character that's so similar to a character you've already been, and you're doing so many things that are just so similar. Like when you're doing stunts and you're jumping from walls and you're doing this, and
you're doing like clips and flips. And
it was hard for me to sit there and watch Uncharted and be like, "Damn, this isn't another like Spider-Man movie." You know what I'm saying? But like with this,
they were way out there. Like they definitely dove in and just like disappeared into the roles for sure, I think. Yeah.
The Winter Soldier is very much like, again, like this brooding just character, doesn't really have too much
Bucky's
expression.
Great, but he's relatively 1 to 2 note, you know?
Yeah.
Like until you get to like maybe like the show Falcon Winter Soldier. But
but with him playing Tommy Lee, like right off the bat, like he's this very just like outgoing, eccentric, like not flamboyant, but just like this freaking, just this crazy character, man. Like
he's chaotic, man.
Yeah, he's very chaotic. That's a great word. And
chaos incarnate.
He's vengeance.
Vengeance.
But yeah, dude, he's just this great character, and it was great to see Sebastian Stan pull that off very well, man. Like I really love the scene where, and it was kind of a nice scene too. Like it was a weird scene because at this point I'm already like, all right, Tommy Lee's a piece of shit, the way he's kind of like treating her and the way he's kind of reacting to this whole situation, blah, blah, blah. But then there's that moment where he meets up with Rand at like the Dodger Stadium parking lot.
That was such a good scene, dude.
Yeah, and Rand is trying to like apologize and being like, oh, this is what you owe me. And he's like, fuck, all right, cool. And Rand's like, oh, well, you're a bad person too. And Tommy Lee's like, you know, yeah, maybe I am a fucking bad person. He's like, but
is she?
He's like, well, what about her? He's talking about Pamela Anderson. He's like, is she like, did she deserve this? Is she a bad person? And, you know, Rand said the Rogen's character is kind of just sitting there like, fuck, man.
Fuck,
you're right. Yeah. And then he like burns the money and tosses it over.
That
like,
shit was savage.
That was like, great. That was a fucking great moment.
That was a great scene. I really liked that. That was a really good ending to that episode, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Because, like, for the last couple episodes before that, Rand was, like, kind of getting too high on his horse. You know? Like, you were starting to be like, okay, bro, like, what the fuck, dude? Come on. How you not seeing this shit at this point? Yeah. Does he already also, too, like, get the kick in the ass from his ex-wife?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that happened before? Or after?
That happened after.
Oh, okay.
Like where she like kind of like kicks him out. And
yeah, because like that's another good like fucking retribution scene too, or whatever. Yeah, like of just
that's
like,
after some like
God, like he has it coming for a while, dude.
Yeah, that point that you're talking about is after a moment where like he's just had like a bunch of like just bad shit going on. He's like got his what's the mob boss's name?
Freaking, oh yeah, damn it.
Freaking.
Let me see.
It's Butchie, but it's Butchie freaking.
Yeah, they want to
Pereno.
Yeah,
Mr. Pereno.
Call me Mr. Pereno.
Call me Mr. Pereno.
Yeah, God damn
and
it.
Yeah, obviously he owes him hella money. He's trying to sell these freaking these. He's trying to sell all of his tapes to like video stores, and they're just like not taking them. And he's kind of like down. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because he almost has like. Last week when I was talking about like villain moments when they sit there and they're like explaining their whole plan and they're explaining like how smart they are. Like he kind of almost has a moment with his ex-wife Erica, not where he's kind of like saying he's smart, but he's like, I did this shit. He's like, I'm the one that like stole the tape and blah blah. I did that, and then she's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no.
He's just like, it's porn, bro. It's porn. And she's like, no, like with porn we get releases and blah blah. And she's like, did you get a release from me? He's like, I hate that word.
Yeah, God, I know, it's so fucking dumb. Jesus, yeah, that part, that scene, that just like that whole sequence of events with him is just like really hard to watch. And it's great though because again, another example of like a really well known actor, like pulling a chameleon. You know, like. definitely getting into the role 100%. I never thought I could hate Seth Rogen on screen, but I did.
You really fucking hate him, man.
I was like, fuck her, dude. Yeah.
Fuck you, bro. Nah, Seth Rogen, I like you. You're cool.
I like you.
He's cool. I don't want to get into it.
I don't want to get into it.
I don't want to get into it.
Another episode.
But fuck, nah, like I thought this was great. The ending with like the whole like the online porn thing was kind of weird to me. Like I don't know if they necessarily like needed that.
Yeah, that was.
And I know there was like, I'm pretty sure I read there was like a lot of moments like in those like last few episodes, which like realistically like did it even like happen?
Oh, okay. They just made him up for the drama.
Kinda, yeah.
I feel like they were trying to like also tell this like weird sub story of like technology and how it affected the times.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was kind of their wrap up to that shit, but it really didn't have anything to do with like the emotional story that was like Pam and Tommy's relationship and how it was affected by the tape, you know?
Yeah. To me, it didn't hold too much weight because of how late it happened.
Yeah, like literally the last episode, right?
And how it was kind of almost treated as just almost treated as like this last straw. Like it was just the straw that broke the camel's back at that point.
Definitely. Yeah.
Where it was like,
because basically
Pam and
like,
Tommy were almost like reconciling and being like this normal couple again, like, and then all of a sudden this comes out and they're just like, all right, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like this is
because basically Pam is like, fuck it, let's do it. Like I don't care, I want this to be over.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy's still just being a bitch about like I'm on there too. Like fucking, you know what I mean? So
he's like really adamant about like suing them, like just suing everybody. And she's like, just don't, because this is, and that was like a big moment of like, I think that especially that 6th episode is showing just. Or just like this series in general is just showing how like women, like people just are still like just they don't give a shit about like what women have to say a lot of the time, and it's just like it's fucked up, you know. Like this is like a big thing that the show portrays, is like she saw this from the beginning, like from like when they wanted to sue the owner of Penthouse, that Guccione.
She's like, I don't know, man.
She's like, don't do it, because once this happens, like once we sue, then it got to bring this whole attention, and like, you know, if we sue him, he's just going to put this shit out anyway, because it's going to be like, oh, fuck you. And that's what happens. And she's just like, yo, this has been happening my whole life. Like, you don't understand. Like, I know how this is going to go because it's constantly happened to me. And why aren't you guys fucking listening to me? And it's like, it's sad. It's super sad, because I mean, she like, it hurt their, like this whole thing hurt their relationship. It's like really fucked up. Like what happened. It's disgusting, because like, you know, that's invasion of privacy at that point. That's fucking putting someone's personal privacy out on the freaking for the world to see, that it wasn't for them.
No.
And that's why like the scenes with like the lawyers were hard to, like those questions they were asking her were hard to watch.
So
like I hated that when they were like, when was the first time you like freaking, you know, had you were paid for sex, basically, or whatever. And she's like, I've never done that.
What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
And then they brought up like how she had modeled for freaking Playboy magazine and shit like that. I'm like, dude, like what the fuck? Like,
yeah, they keep bringing up like they don't show anything, but what I imagine is like pretty graphic like stills, and they're like, can you please identify the people in this image?
Yeah, basically making her watch
making
her watch the tape back, and then just being like, yeah, can you please tell me who this is? And they're just like, yeah, she's constantly just like, it's me and my husband. And she's just like, that part was hard to watch. That part made me really sad, because it was just like, damn, like you guys just aren't listening, and then you're just more like doing this you're just invading her privacy, and you're freaking you're just being fucked up people, man. Fuck you.
Yeah, it is. It gets heavy for sure. And then, you know, obviously they don't make it through all of that. Pam and Tommy. It's pretty quick after that that like they pretty much break up over the release, right? Like the signing for the internet shit.
Well, it was that, yeah. And then,
I mean, not just that, but like you said, straw that broke the camel's back, right? Like,
yeah, they had like try to get away, and freaking
they don't show anything from when he actually goes to jail, but like they're sitting there arguing in the living room at the end or whatever, and he fucking flips out hard and starts like kicking shit and throwing stuff or whatever, and she's like, fuck you. She's like, nope, we're done. That's it. Yeah.
She was like already done. Like she freaking straight up, the hotel they were at, like she straight up dipped with his car and shit like that. Like, because he just didn't know how to keep it cool. Like he was, and it was crazy watching that moment where they're going through like that Vegas like hotel or whatever, and he's like walking with her, and there's so many people like, oh my god. It mirrors like that first episode or the second episode when they get back from Mexico.
Oh yeah, totally.
And they're coming down the escalator, and everyone's like, oh my god. And you see at that moment in that second episode how much he already doesn't fuck with like the paparazzi like that.
Yeah.
Whereas she is more like at that point in her life, she's used to it, and she like accepts it, and she's like, oh, like this is just part of like my life at this point. Yeah. And he's just really, you can see how he just doesn't give a fuck about it. Yeah. And that, kind of comes back to bite him at the end when they're going to that hotel, and they're like a similar situation. A bunch of people are like, oh my god, Pam and Tommy, blah blah, and he's like forcing her to like walk like faster, blah blah. And they get into like the elevator, and she's like, oh, you hurt like my arm, blah blah. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then they get into the hotel, and freaking they put the do not disturb sign, and then someone from the hotel comes to bring that wine, and he's like, fuck, blah blah blah, and like making hella noise, and slams the door. And she's like, well, just stop, dude. And he's like, well, I'm sorry. And she's like, whatever. And he's like, well, would you rather me not be sorry? And she's like, I'd rather you just not do the thing that makes you say makes you sorry, And I was like, fuck. Yeah. And that's basically when it was done. Or not when it was done, but he goes down to the bar later, and he's all fucked up, and people are just like, yo, you got a big dick, bro. And he's just like, fuck, I guess. Yeah,
it's pretty
what a show. Moments, man.
Yeah, what a show. I really liked it.
Yeah,
I was, like I said, I was down for it the whole way through. Stellar performances from everybody.
How'd you feel about Seth Rogen's character becoming like this fucking
weed grower?
Money collector?
Oh yeah.
He became a debt collector.
Honestly, that was wild. I was laughing the whole time at that shit, dude. Fucking seeing Seth Rogen do like interrogation scenes, like coming in and fucking doing the, I don't know who says it or whatever, but the fucking, I have become death, like I am destruction or whatever.
I'm destroyer of worlds.
I'm destroyer of worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, he says that when he goes to the first guy he has to collect money from. He tries to collect it at a bus stop.
Yeah.
They give him the bat, right? And the dude's like, it's perfect because it's small, but it does the same damage as a big one, and it fits in your sleeve. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's all walking with it. All fucking.
And as soon as he said that, I already knew fucking Seth Rogen's character was freaking going to put it in upside down. Because immediately when he says, yo, it could fit perfectly in your sleeve, I start thinking, all right, how am I going to fit that in my sleeve and like slightly like slide that out and then fucking beat the fuck out of someone with it, So I start putting it together in my head. Oh, okay, no, this is how you got to put the bat in. So when it comes out all the way, you grab this, the grip and freaking, then you can just swing it, right? And then when I see him fucking the way he has the bat up his sleeve, I was like, see, this guy didn't think it through, man. This guy didn't think it through. And it was just funny because, he tries to collect the money at a fucking bus stop.
Yeah, the bus comes and like the driver opens the door and they both just kind of like, and then the guy's like, bye, and just walks jumps on the bus. Yeah.
What I was hoping to happen at that point is I thought Seth Rogen's character Rand was just gonna walk up on the bus with him and just beat the fuck out of him on the bus. But it didn't happen, obviously, because he's scared to do it still at that point. And then he freaking goes back and tries to apologize to Mr. Pereno. And freaking,
I'm sorry, Butchie. Mr. Pereno.
It's Mr. Pereno,
Mr. Pereno.
And fucking, he's just like, nah, dude. He's like, you just gotta do this, or else you fucking, I don't know, owes him hella money.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck it. And then finally, like, goes to that dude's house and just beats the fuck out of him with his book. And he's like, yeah, I've become death.
I am become death. I am the destroyer of the world.
Yeah, and I was like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I liked it though. I thought it was funny, and like also, I don't know. I guess it's like hard to watch, but like, it's crazy because you can see that it does fuck him up, which is like, I thought was a good scene. It's like he comes back to him after a little while, and he's like, Mr. Pereno, and he's like got blood on his fingers and shit. Yeah. He's like shaking, and he's like, I just want to let you know, like, I don't think I can do this anymore. He's like,
I wasn't built for this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not made for this type of work. It's like, it's crazy. It like fucks him up. He's like fucking, because he does a few jobs for him, right? And like he tells him like, no, you still owe me like $20,000 or whatever.
He does like, I think he says he's done like something like 8 or 9 jobs for him. I'm like, fuck.
Because some time passes after like from 7 to 8, I think, right? Yeah, like into that last episode.
Yeah. It was fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
It was some weird. It was like a weird comedic relief to like a serious part of like the series, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But
definitely.
like, it wasn't funny because it was like actually something. I
Terrible.
really don't think that actually happened in real life.
Oh, like him going and like beating on people to get money for a
Yeah.
mobster
I
that
don't
they
think-
got money lent for.
Yeah, because I know what actually. Because you know how in the show he's like staying at his ex-wife's house.
Yeah.
That didn't like happen in real life. He didn't,
Oh,
yeah, he
okay,
didn't actually
okay.
stay there.
Okay.
He did have a wife named Erica. Blah blah blah.
But that was just
And they
for the
did do
drama.
some. I'm pretty sure they did do some porn together at some point. But he
Uh-huh.
never like they had split up already like before all of that happened.
Okay.
So I think he actually stayed. He stayed in real life. He stayed at like another friend's house.
Okay.
Yeah,
The drama.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you got to juice it up, you know, for the show.
But when he steals the safe and stuff, he actually in real life he did wear like the dog
Yeah, the dog.
a dog
yeah,
costume.
Yeah. But still, again, there's no way he moved that shit on his own.
Swears, bro. Swears he did.
Uh-huh.
It was funny that he said he became a weed grower, and I was like, "Fuck that fool."
I know.
Fuck
I
you,
know.
dude.
I like though. I do like the thing that they put on there. How he occasionally tells people that he's the one who leaked the Pam and Tommy sex tape, and it's like nobody believes him.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah,
Better not believe him,
yeah.
cause fuck you,
Mm-hmm.
fuck you, bro.
Serious fuck you.
If you wanted to give me seeds, bro, I'd throw them in your face. But yeah, that was Pam and Tommy. You guys should definitely check that out if you haven't finished it, or if you haven't even watched it. I definitely think it's a good watch, especially if you're not really familiar with the situation, like I was. Or like I don't know if you were familiar with the situation at all before,
Yeah.
but definitely I think worth the watch. The thing that is interesting about this show is like Pamela Anderson or Tommy Lee, they were not involved in the making of it, so.
Yeah, there
is-
or nothing.
Yeah, the show's very much based off of the 2014 like Rolling Stone article that that like sort of plotted the whole situation.
Yeah.
And like I was reading something like an article where like the writer basically said like no, like we basically pulled heavy from like that article, and basically the way it goes down in the show is the way it goes down in the article. So I'm definitely gonna go back and
Read that.
find that article and read that shit.
Yeah.
But hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
There we go. There was Pam and Tommy. There was Genius.
The recap. Our first recap.
Our first recap episode. Not gonna be
It's
too
nice.
long.
Yeah.
Anything you watched this week that was interesting?
Not anything I watched this week, but I mean, I figured you're gonna talk about Fresh, right?
I could talk about Fresh. I also watched Midsummer for the first time.
I've seen that movie
I had
before.
never watched it. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yeah,
Dude,
that's a good movie.
Have you seen Midsummer? Oh, dude, this
I
is
haven't
some
seen it in a
shit.
while, but yeah, it is some shit.
This is some shit.
Starts
It's-
off pretty wild.
Yeah, it's a film from A24, written and directed by Ari Aster, and he's also the same person who wrote and directed Hereditary.
Oh yeah,
I haven't watched Hereditary because when it first came out and someone told me they watched it and they weren't going to go back and watch it again because of how freaky it was, it made me not want to watch it at all.
Okay.
Because I don't like freaky shit like that. But after watching Midsummer, it made me want to go and watch Hereditary because Ari Aster's is crazy motherfucker, dude. The way he films this shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a wild movie, dude. It's hardcore. If it's the same director, then like I feel like I'm probably relatively well equipped to watch the second, or not second one, but maybe we can do that one for an episode. We can watch Hereditary.
But yeah, Midsummer is interesting because it like mostly takes place like in the daytime. Right?
Yeah,
it's a horror movie that takes place in the daytime.
Very
and it makes me
interesting.
so scared to go to
Yeah.
fucking Sweden because
Oh
these,
yeah,
these fuckers are crazy.
Yeah. So like it starts with them tripping, right? Like
when they go there, like it's weird because this whole movie, as much as it is about like this, it is like about like the relationship between like the main character and then her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's fucking
some crazy shit goes down. I don't want to tell you too crazy
that's
because
true.
dude, it's
You
a
should-
pretty nuts
we
movie
should
that you
watch
got to
it.
watch.
Yeah, it's not as well. I can't imagine. I've heard some of the stories about like the scenes in Hereditary and stuff like that, and how graphic and like intense they can be. I don't think this is as bad.
No, nothing in this was like
this is
nothing
more-
in this was crazy. There obviously were some moments that were
Yeah.
like that take you back a little bit, and you're like, okay, that's some pretty crazy shit.
Yeah,
but it's not
there's
anything overwhelming.
No,
I would say.
there's like off the top of my head, there's only one scene in particular that I'm thinking that's like, oh shit. But other than that, everything else is more like I feel like kind of psychologically scary.
Yeah,
You know, like it fucks with your head more than it's like
yeah.
trying to like.
And it's crazy because if you pay attention when you're watching the movie, like there's a lot of art.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
There's a lot of art in
dude.
it that's beautiful, but it
Yeah.
also basically breaks down the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
if-
Oh yeah. I remember what you're talking about.
yeah. Like the,
Yeah.
like,
It's like a kind of like a old Swedish like folklore tale thing that they
Yeah.
have that's like depicted in like this art form.
yeah. The
that is-
artist that
basically the plot.
yeah, the artist that did it like based it off of old like fucking like Viking fucking
yeah.
paintings and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like
That's cool.
So it's like probably a style like an art form that you can, if you were to go back during those times, like you'd see it, but they obviously formed it to fit like the movie and
Yeah.
what was going down in the movie.
Yeah.
So like that was already like pretty fucking insane because I noticed it at one point, right? Because they make it a big point at one point in the movie when they get to Sweden and they get to the commune. After I believe it was after they tripped because they get to a certain point and then they like trip on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Which I think was funny. Like it made me want to go. It makes me want to take mushrooms again. Like I
Yeah.
haven't taken mushrooms in a while. But yeah, so they trip and then they finally get to like the actual commune and they're looking around and then there's this one moment that he's like the guy that brings them there, like he's actually Swedish and he like from this commune they go out and then they experience like the world at some point in their life and then they bring people back for this festival. Sometimes it's not always like the festivals aren't always like the way they go down in this movie. This movie just happens to be like so every 90 years what goes down in this movie happens in this commune.
Yeah.
And this movie obviously just happens to take place that year.
Yeah, of course.
So freaking there's people that normally come to this commune
And like basically just kind of
they kind of just kick it there.
yeah, they kick it in like a more naturalistic lifestyle. Like
They experience the festival because the Midsummer Festival is what they have. It goes on every obviously every year during the midsummer time.
yeah, the friends that bring them are just like, we're gonna go hang out or whatever. Right?
Yeah. But the movie takes place in a special time. On that time where every 90 years some shit goes down. And some shit fucking goes down. But yeah, there's one point when they're in the commune, right? And they're showing them around and he's like, "Oh, let me show you this painting here."
Yeah.
And he like it goes and it portrays this moment that happens later in the movie and if you pay attention you're like, holy shit, this is going down. Like like it's towards the end where like what really happens in that painting goes down, but I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm like, wait, what? This is okay. And I'm watching and then I'm like noticing like his drink, right? Because his drink is like, and I'm like, oh shit. And then what happens and I'm like, oh my god, that was fucking
fucked,
nuts,
bro.
You're literally fucked.
Yeah, no, that's a good movie. Maybe we can do like a spoiler one of that one and Hereditary
Yeah.
sometime. Like do it back to an Ari Aster one. You know what I'm saying?
Hereditary. Ooh.
Hereditary and Midsummer.
I like that.
Yeah, okay.
Because there are some like I've heard there are some like similarities between the movies. Like they're both like
That'd be
cultish.
fun.
Like they're both cultish movies.
You know what we've always said? Or not always said, but one of the early ideas that we had is we would do like this movie versus that movie.
Oh.
We could try to do that.
I'm with that.
For
I'm
that
with
one.
that. Compare the movies.
Yeah.
I like it.
See how,
I like it. But yeah, Midsummer, that's what I watched this week, and I honestly went back and watched it a second time because it was crazy. It was fucking crazy. Crazy enough
really
to make
good.
me be like, I'm gonna watch this immediately again because it's just it's nuts, man. It's just nuts what goes down, and there's a lot of little things that you can catch the second time. If you didn't watch it closely the first time, which I think is pretty like it's just
fun in
great writing.
movies. Yeah,
And then just like the cinematics, the way it's filmed, like a lot of the scenes, the way they're filmed, they're really nice. There's a lot of mirrors and they use that a lot. So there's one scene where they go to one of the main characters, Christian, he has a friend named Mark, and they go to, I believe, like his apartment or whatever, and they're all hanging out. And the scene where they're talking, so like the front door is behind them. The other main character, Danny, comes in and she's talking to all the characters that are sitting on the couch in front of her, but you can only see her through the mirror that's behind all the characters sitting on the couch, so you can only see her that way, and you can't even really see her, which I thought was an interesting way to shoot it, because it's like normally if you're gonna have like a scene where people are having a conversation, you're gonna show them both talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty, like that's a neat way. And then they transition into like from one scene into another that I think was pretty amazing. I think
they're just
it's a pretty great movie.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like it's almost meant to unsettle you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like not in like a really heavy way or anything like that, but just it's like you said, you're used to seeing that type of like scene take place in a certain way.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't, you're like, huh, what's happening here?
Yeah.
What's with this movie?
I'm like, I like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I watched that. Yeah. What else did you say?
You
Oh,
were
I also
Fresh.
watched Fresh.
Yeah.
That was really good. If you guys haven't
Yeah,
seen
Sebastian
Fresh,
Stan.
go watch it on
Yeah.
go watch it on Hulu with
Mhm.
Sebastian Stan.
Mhm.
I forget who the other fucking main character is, but yeah, Sebastian Stan does great. I don't want to give too much away because if you haven't seen like any of the trailers or any of the like the posters, like any of the artwork for the movie,
Mhm.
then you kind of don't see the twist that's coming. So if you haven't seen any of that, I don't want to give it away because you definitely don't see the twist that's coming. If you haven't seen anything to this movie, you don't know what's gonna happen. I would suggest you watch it because it is really good. I don't know. I remember before this movie came, or before I watched this movie, I listened to like a non-spoilery review of it. And they said like, oh, if you don't do okay with like gore, like you probably shouldn't like watch this movie. I mean, it's gory, but it's not anything like too uncomfortable.
Okay, it's
I
not
would
that
say.
bad.
Yeah.
It's
So-
not Texas Chainsaw Massacre or what?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. But
Okay.
it was really good. I definitely think y'all should watch it for sure. Sebastian Stan definitely gets into a different bag here.
Another
and
Bucky movie?
Not another Bucky movie.
Well,
man.
yeah.
He freaking
Not another Bucky movie.
not another Bucky. Yeah, he gets in. He's crazy, man. He's pretty crazy. And definitely when you watch it, we should definitely have an episode where we talk about it.
Let's do it.
I think it's for sure.
I'm super down. Hell yeah.
But yeah, what have you been watching?
Oh, actually, you know what we have been watching is we finally started checking out some we watched like half of Princess Mononoke and we watched Spirited Away. I forgot what the director's name is, but damn it, what are they? Oh, Ghibli movies, Studio Ghibli movies.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're really good. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. You should start watching them. We have the DVD actually. Yeah.
Slide me the DVD.
Yeah,
I don't got
bro.
shit going on today. I'll check it out.
You should watch it. Hell yeah.
What is it? Spirited Away?
Spirited Away. That's a really good one. That's like kind of just like a sweet story about like not too much of a spoiler, just like general setup is it's like this girl goes with her parents and they're like going on vacation, I think, right? No, they're moving. Yeah, okay. So they're moving. Sorry, I know I'm getting the details wrong. And they like are driving up and they like basically come upon this like crazy looking tunnel really quick and they hop out and the dad like super nonchalantly just like, whoa, this tunnel looks dope, like let's go check it out. And he's just like, and the little girl's like all scared and like, I don't want to go. And then the mom is gonna go with him too and she's like, all right, well you can wait in the car then. And she's like, fuck, okay, fine. She like dips and they all like go down the tunnel together and it's like beautiful on the other side. It's like this gorgeous like field and they like come across this like thing that like looks like a river that there's like not there, right? Like a river used to run through there or something. And they come to like this ghost town and it's like nobody there, but it like looks like what they call the dad says it's like a theme park.
Okay.
And yeah, it's interesting. It's different. And so
I love a good theme park.
yeah. And so they come in and there's like all this food like out and about and the mom and the dad are like, oh shit, like what the fuck? Like let's get down. Like what the hell? Like they like start to call out and nobody's there. And the little girl's kind of like, guys, I don't know, we should take this food or whatever. And they just like, it's okay, we'll pay him later or something. They start eating. And the little girl goes off to explore. And some shit goes down. The whole town turns once nighttime comes. And like this other young man whose name I can't remember. I can't remember any of their names. But there's a little boy and a little girl in the movie. Is like, yo, motherfucker, you gotta dip. You can't be here. What the fuck are you doing? And so like they turn around and they start to go and like all these spirits start to show up in like the amusement park and stuff. And like she comes back to where her mom and her dad were and they like ate so much and like this place is magical, so they like turned into pigs.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and they're just like gone. They dip and like the river's back and shit like that. And so it's like a whole adventure from there.
Oh wow.
But it's really good and the animation is really, really good. Like super, super expressive. Really, really like beautiful like vistas and giant sweeping shit. It's really cool.
Nice.
They're good.
I think we should check out have you guys watched Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, I haven't.
I think you guys should definitely check it out because they got a
Okay.
Jujutsu Kaisen movie that just came out, which
Cool.
is like a prequel movie to all the stuff that's recent, that's been going on like right now in the show. Obviously, there's just one season, but what's going on like in the manga? I don't really read the mangas because I'm not that deep into it. But the Jujutsu Kaisen show is really fucking good. I definitely think you guys should watch it. If you're
Okay.
if you're into anime, it is definitely more like action and shit like that. But
I love action.
it's fucking great. I definitely recommend it. It's on HBO Max. You can find it on
Cool.
HBO Max.
Okay.
I'm
I'm down.
And then the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, I think it's called like Jujutsu Kaisen 0 or something like that. Let me something like that.
Huh.
But yeah, that one came out. I've heard that one's really good.
Is that also on HBO somewhere, or is that?
No, I think that one's in the theaters right now.
Oh, okay.
So you have to
it's
go.
brand new.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. It came out, I'm pretty sure it came out a while ago, like overseas and things like that. But I think it just recently came out in the United States, and I've heard it's really good. So I definitely want to check that out, and I think we should definitely
Okay.
check that out in the future.
I'm down with it, bro.
Have an anime episode.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm
Go
down.
with it.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Anything else that you can?
I don't know. What do we have planned for next week?
Next week we got a little fun one, guys. We got our first guest gonna come on. You may have heard in the Batman episode. He was in there a little bit, but it's gonna be my homie F. He's gonna be coming on. Dude's hilarious. He's fucking he's a funny guy. He's a hella smart dude. Makes music as well. So I'm excited to bring him on, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. But then I'm also excited to see what he's gonna have us like watch, or what we're gonna do, because our plan for guests is basically just let them pick what they want to pick to talk about. I know we're gonna have a music one lined up where we don't talk about any movies at all, where we literally talk about like music. So I think that's gonna be fun. But I mean, I think that's a fun thing to just kind of let our guests just pick what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
One, it makes us expand our horizons so we can talk about other things. And two, it's a good way to get to know our guests like beforehand and have like good conversation, because it'd be kind of weird if we, kind of just did what we wanted to do all the time and we're just like, here, watch this, and they kind of weren't into it, so we're going to kind of take the approach of like, when it's our guest episodes, let them take the reins on what we're going to talk about, and let it go from there, see what happens in the episode. And like I said, I'm excited. He's a funny dude. I've known him for a long time. You haven't known him too long, but
No, I've only hung out with him a couple of times, but each time has been fucking hilarious. He is a really funny guy. Super funny. Yeah. So I'm excited, dude. It's going to be great. And it's going to be fun to have a new dynamic, like you said, first guest episode. It's going to be cool to have 3 people in the room, dude.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting. So definitely. I look forward to that one. We'll be 8 episodes in at that point.
My
8
goodness.
weeks. So that's going to be pretty nuts.
My
man.
goodness.
So yeah, I'm excited. This was our first recap episode. We'll have these every now and then, where we kind of just generally come and recap some stuff that we've talked about before that hadn't finished yet, so we kind of get back around to them, So we'll do that, and this was only episode 7. We definitely got some more stuff planned that will roll out as like, certain shows come out, certain movies come out, and certain guests come on. So like I said, guys, we got a whole lot coming on. I appreciate all you guys that have been listening, that have been watching on YouTube. Go check out episodes 1, 2, and 3. Those are just clips. Episode 4 and 5 are the first full-length episodes that we have, so definitely go check those out. Episode 6 will be up shortly, and if you're listening to this, it'll drop on normal time. Even though we're recording this early, it'll drop on normal time. So the video should come out around the normal time. So hopefully, and then we'll get these all synced up, so everything kind of like is all gelled together.
Got content through the week.
Exactly. So anything you gotta say before we leave, man? Anything you gotta say to the people before we leave?
Just another thank you. We love the interaction. Like, a lot of the ideas for movies and stuff that you have, I think, have definitely bumped their way up the list on our planned episodes coming up. So just, again, we love going back and forth with you guys. It's a good time. Thank you very, very much for the support. So,
Oh, yeah. And it's fun for us to do this,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we love it, man.
even if we didn't get the support, I'm pretty sure we'd still be here freaking doing and shit and chatting away, because fucking might as well. Might as well set aside some time during our week to just talk about the shit we always talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys. This has been Ryan for Too High TV. To my right is my boy.
This is Daniel.
And we are signing off. Laters.
Have a good night.
Haters.
Good morning.
And skaters and alligators. Yay.
I think that was the most cooked ending we've had.
All right, let's hit a clap, dude.
1, 2, 3. All right.
That was pretty good.
There we go.
That was all right.